The Zephyrian fleet hung in the void like metallic predators, their sleek vessels casting shadows across Earth's blue marble surface. Admiral Krixtal flexed his 4 arms in satisfaction as he studied the tactical displays. After 3 standard cycles of observation, the conclusion was undeniable. Humanity possessed no significant military technology. No energy shields detected, reported his tactical officer, mandibles clicking with amusement. No orbital defense platforms. Their primitive chemical rockets barely reached their own moon. Krixtal's compound eyes gleamed. The Galactic Dominion had cataloged hundreds of species before their conquest, but none quite so pathetically defenseless as these humans. Their cities sprawled across continents with no protective barriers. Their satellites were laughably fragile, and their largest weapons were crude nuclear devices that would barely scratch Zephyrian hull plating. "Begin the descent," Krixtal commanded. "Standard subjugation protocol. These primitives will make excellent laborers once we've—" The first alarm chimed softly, then another. Within moments, the bridge erupted in a cacophony of warning signals that made Krixtal's exoskeleton tingle with unease. "Admiral," his sensor operator's voice cracked. "Reading massive energy signatures across the planet's surface, thousands of them, sir. They're powering up." On the main display, Earth transformed before their eyes. What had appeared to be innocuous cities and industrial complexes suddenly blazed with energy readings that made their instruments scream. Structures that had seemed like simple buildings began to unfold, revealing themselves as cunningly disguised weapon emplacements. The humans, it seemed, had been hiding their defenses in plain sight. Dr. Sarah Chen stood in the command center buried 3 kilometers beneath the Rocky Mountains, her fingers dancing across holographic interfaces as she coordinated humanity's response. Around her, technicians spoke in calm, measured tones despite the magnitude of what they were unleashing. "Fusion Lance batteries online," reported Colonel Martinez. "All continental defense grids showing green across the board." Sarah nodded, her eyes never leaving the tactical display showing the alien fleet. For 50 years, humanity had prepared for this moment. Not openly, not obviously, but with the quiet determination that had carried their species from caves to stars. They had learned from watching the cosmos that appearing weak often meant survival long enough to become strong. "Activate the sleepers," she ordered. Across Earth's surface, tens of thousands of installations that had masqueraded as everything, from shopping centers to grain silos, began their transformation. Humanity's greatest deception wasn't that they were peaceful, it was that they were defenseless. The first barrage erupted from the Sahara Desert, where what the aliens had cataloged as solar collection facilities revealed their true nature. Massive particle accelerators buried beneath the sand sent coherent energy beams lancing into space, each one carrying the destructive power of a small star. Krixtal watched in growing horror as his fleet's forward elements simply ceased to exist. Not destroyed, not damaged, erased. The beams passed through their shielding as if it weren't there, reducing million-ton warships to their component atoms in microseconds. "Impossible," he whispered. "Our intelligence showed no military installations of this magnitude." His tactical officer's mandibles chattered with fear. "Sir, we're detecting launch signatures from across the planet. Thousands of them." The missiles rose from hidden silos cunningly disguised as everything from apartment buildings to artificial lakes. But these weren't the primitive chemical rockets the Zephyrians had dismissed. These were fusion-powered interceptors with AI guidance systems that had been evolving in Earth's quantum networks for decades, learning from every simulation, every war game, every tactical scenario humanity's military minds could devise. They moved like living things through space, adapting their approach vectors faster than any organic pilot could react. When the Zephyrian point defense systems tried to target them, the missiles simply changed. Their hulls rippled with programmable matter, reshaping themselves to deflect or absorb incoming fire while maintaining their deadly trajectory. But the true revelation came when Earth cities themselves began to move. What the aliens had observed as sprawling urban centers revealed their secondary purpose. New Tokyo's skyscrapers rotated on hidden mechanisms. aligning into a massive railgun array that sent tungsten projectiles accelerating at significant fractions of light speed. London's underground network disgorged swarms of autonomous defense, drones that had been masquerading as subway trains. The entire Sydney Harbour proved to be a single, enormous plasma cannon disguised as a metropolitan port. Dr. Chen allowed herself a tight smile as she watched the alien fleet's formation crumble. Humanity had learned from nature itself. The most successful prey species weren't the ones with obvious armor or weapons, but those that appeared harmless until the moment they weren't. Phase 2, she commanded. The space elevators that connected Earth to its orbital stations had appeared to be simple transportation infrastructure. Now they revealed their true function as delivery systems for humanity's orbital bombardment platforms. But these weren't crude kinetic weapons. They were something far more elegant and terrifying. The platforms deployed clouds of what looked like simple metallic dust. To the Zephyrian sensors, they appeared harmless, possibly even accidental debris. It wasn't until the dust clouds reached the alien vessels that their true nature became apparent. Each particle was a microscopic machine, a self-replicating nanite designed for one purpose: dismantling enemy ships at the molecular level. They passed through hull plating like it was tissue paper, then began their work. Within minutes, kilometer-long, warships were collapsing into clouds of their constituent elements, their crews never understanding what was consuming their vessels from within. Admiral Krickstahl's flagship shuddered as the nanites found it. His bridge crew worked frantically at their stations, but there was no defense against an enemy that attacked at the atomic level. Through his viewports, he could see his mighty fleet dissolving like sugar in rain. "Admiral," his communications officer gasped, "we're receiving a transmission from the planet." Dr. Chen's image appeared on the Zephyrian viewscreen, her expression calm and professional. When she spoke, translation protocols rendered her words in perfect Zephyrian. "I am Dr. Sarah Chen, Director of Earth's Planetary Defense Initiative. You came here believing us to be defenseless primitives. This was intentional. We have spent 5 decades ensuring that any species observing us would reach exactly that conclusion." She paused, letting her words sink in. "You see, humans have a saying, speak softly and carry a big stick. We chose to remain silent and carry the biggest stick we could build. Every city you observed, every structure you cataloged, every piece of our civilization, it was all designed with one primary function in mind: the absolute annihilation of any force that threatened our species." Krickstahl felt his exoskeleton crack under the stress of what he was witnessing. "Impossible," he croaked. "No species could hide such military capability. Our intelligence networks are perfect." Dr. Chen's smile was neither cruel nor kind. It was the expression of someone explaining a simple truth to a slow student. "Your intelligence networks told you exactly what we wanted them to know. Every signal we broadcast, every structure we built, every action we took for the past 50 years was designed to reinforce your preconceptions about primitive species. We studied your empire's conquests, Admiral. We know how you think, how you assess threats, how you classify civilizations." The transmission flickered as another wave of nanites consumed more of the flagship's communication array. "We learned from every species you've conquered. We analyzed their mistakes, their weaknesses, their failed strategies, and we designed our entire civilization around ensuring that when you came for us, and we knew you would come, you would find not prey, but predators." Krickstahl's compound eyes widened in understanding. You've been preparing for us specifically? For you, for your empire, and for any other force that might threaten humanity's future. This isn't just our defense, Admiral. It's our declaration. Earth isn't just protected. It's armed for war on a scale your empire has never encountered. As if to emphasize her point, more weapons revealed themselves across Earth's surface. What had appeared to be mountain ranges opened like flowers, revealing massive fortress complexes. The planet's moon, which the Zephyrians had dismissed as a lifeless rock, suddenly blazed with energy signatures as hidden installations came online. Even the asteroid belt showed signs of human presence, mining operations that were clearly something far more militaristic in nature. We are not the sheep you came to slaughter, Dr. Chen continued as Krixtal's flagship began its final dissolution. We are the wolves you never saw coming. The last thing Admiral Krixtal saw before his command center collapsed around him was Earth, blue and serene and beautiful, ringed by the debris of his once mighty fleet. Humanity had not just defended their world, they had announced their arrival on the galactic stage in terms that no species would ever misunderstand again.